Good news, we just uploaded a video, The Gambler's Secrets Exposed, by the legendary Lou Lancaster.
Gambler's Secrets Exposed. And now, please welcome your instructor, Lou Lancaster.
Hello, I'm Lou Lancaster. Welcome to this tape on gambling, on crooked gambling, and how to spot crooked gambling. First, let's begin with a game that you've probably all heard about. If you haven't seen, you can walk down Broadway in New York City any day of the week and you'll see people standing there playing this game. They'll use a black card, another black card, and this is the card you got to watch. We're using the 10 of hearts. That goes in the middle. The object of the game is to keep track of the red card here in the middle. We have a red card right there. Now watch. If I were to do it very slowly, where would you say the red card was? Well, obviously it was in the middle. If you've watched it all close. This time I cheat you. Red card, black card, black card. Now almost anybody would bet this is the red card, right? Wrong. We'll explain exactly how we do it at the end of the videotape. The red card is over here. One more time. Red card in the middle. Black card, bet on the middle card, they lose. Red card is on this end this time. Now let me explain exactly how it's done. Remember, you use 3 cards, a red card and 2 black ones. Always be sure that if you're going to try this, that the 2 odd cards are the same card. You'll see why in just a moment. These are 2 10 of clubs. You can use 2 queen of hearts and a black card in the middle. They used to call this tossing the broads, which all the male chauvinists would call it today, I suppose. Tossing the broads because they use queens. The secret depends on this move right here. You show a red card and you throw it down. Well, I didn't throw it down. I threw down the card above it. Now let me make it really obvious how this is done. Remember the red card here in the middle. You show a black card, you show another black card, and you pick up the red card. You say, remember we have a red card. I'm going to make the switch here very obvious. You throw down the red card, but you don't. You throw the card above it. Now watch the fingers. So the whole move is depending on that. It's called the hop or the jump or just switching the cards. It all depends on that. When you really do it properly, the good players come over and you put one right on top of the other. You show the red card. You toss it down. You come over and put this card on top of that one. What are really happening? They think this is the card they just saw. It's not. It's here in my right hand because you did the switch. You come over here, show this one, do the switch again. And because you're using 2 cards the same, you can show this one again. Red one's over here. But right now I'd like to smooth out a few pointers here. The player, of course, softens up the corners. The diagonal corners, all 3 cards together, turns them around end for end, and softens up these 3 corners so that all the cards are consistent. 2 black cards, red card. As he turns away, the stooge picks up the red card and bends it up. Well, when he comes back again, as he picks this card up, notice my right little finger here. What I've done there is bend up the corner with that little finger as I pick up the card. Placed on top of the red card is shown and apparently thrown on the table. But the red card is here in my hand. Now all he has to do is straighten out that corner. So his little finger comes over and bends it back down again, puts it on top of the black card over here, shows the black card, throws it down, and since you have 2 black cards the same, you can show this card so they now know that this is black, this has got to be the card that's going to win. And of course, he loses. It's the black card, son of a gun, with a bent corner. All right, that's enough of the 3-card monte for now. I'd like to introduce you to another game. And it's called the three-shell game. And for that, we use a little walnut shells. Here, let's see how it's played. Here down on the table. They always like to use 3 cards, they use 3 shells. Now, these are great big plastic walnut shells that I got because they're all identical. And they use a little rubber pea. It works the same way as the other game. You have to guess where one of the 3 objects is. There's the pea in the middle. If they move this one there, this one up here, this one up here. This one comes back this way, and this one comes back to the middle. Where's the pea? They can come along here and show that these are empty. It must be in the middle. Sorry, folks, you lose. It's way over here on this side. It's just like the 3-card Monte. You can't win, no matter how closely you watch. We'll leave it visible there on the little shell, cover it up. Okay, remember the hey diddle diddle, the pea goes in the middle, but when the money goes down, the pea can't be found. Which one would you take? Well, most people, of course, would take this one. Well, you move it back here, try to keep track of where the pea is. Most people would guess over here because I moved that one to the side. It's not here, it's not here, it's way over here on the right. There's just no way to win at these games, no matter what you do. And here we have the old 3-shell game. Let's have a look. Well, the 3-shell game depends on, just like the 3-card Monte, you have to find one object out of 3. Let's put the pea in the middle. Pea, shell there, a shell here, and a shell over here. Which one has the pea? Well, it must be here. It's not, of course. It's hidden over here in the right hand. And there's the empty shell. Drop it there on the table. Here's what happens. The pea is made of soft foam rubber. When you cover it, let's do it from the back. Get in here real close where you can see. As you push this shell forward, it rolls out the back like that. And if your finger is in the right position, when it rolls out the back, take a look. I hold it like this. Notice how the finger and thumb are ready to grab it. Move it out like this. You move your hand away, and you've stolen the pea between the side of the thumb and the first end of the first finger. Then, of course, when they choose one of these 3 objects, no matter how much you move them around, you can move them around forever because the pea's here in your hand. Well, if they choose this one, you move these 2 back. You can show this one to be empty, and it's over here. That's the basic secret of the 3-shell game. Now let me show you what you can also do. Put it here in the middle. Cover it with a shell. Show these 2 empty. Move this one forward, move this one forward, move this one forward. Which one do you want? They're going to say they want in the middle. Move it back. Move these 2 back. A beautiful thing is here, you can show your hands to be empty, and you can show the shells to be empty. Yet, it's not in the middle. It's over here. Yet I showed it to be empty. This is all there is to that. When they steal it out the back, you just let it roll a little further and then turn it over. Now what's happened there, it rolled underneath my fingers, and you can show the shell to be empty, turn it back down again, and put it right back over the pea once again. There it is. It's not there. And that, of course, is a shell game. Let's put them away here. And bring out the dice. It's awful hard to beat a man at his own game. Because they have loaded dice, you can bring your own. If they have something that looks like yours, they pick them up like this and they switch them. They can switch them for loaded dice. They can switch them for what they call tops and bottoms that have the same number on each side. They'll have 2 4 6s and no 1 3 5s. And bring out the dice. And now here's the whole basics of cheating at dice. You have to be able to switch the dice. You have some red dice out here. You've got to come along like that, shake up the dice, and throw out the dice. Of course, they've turned green. That's because the red ones are here in your hand. They're held between the palm of the hand and the side of the thumb, just like that. Just before you make the switch, your hand closes and you roll these down here to the fingertips, like the finger palm. That leaves the side of your hand and your thumb able to pick up the green ones, shake them up, and throw out the red ones. Red dice. And believe me, if you're going to cheat at dice, don't use 2 different colors. Make them the same color and you'll live longer. And now, this is really the cream of the crop. This is exactly how a professional card cheat does it without mark cards, without any trick cards. I'm going to use a brand new pack of bicycle cards. Get them open here. Get in real close where you can see exactly what we're doing. It's all sealed up, so we have to get these out of the box. 52 playing cards. A couple of jokers. Let's get rid of those. Get rid of the jokers over here. Let's keep 1 joker, as a matter of fact. Notice the cards in order. Ace to king, king back to ace, and then red on through. Black, red, hearts, clubs, diamonds, spades. After years of practice, a card sharp can take a deck of cards. Now watch this very closely. If you're sitting across the table from a guy and he shuffles a deck like this, and he gives him a cut, a couple of cuts, and he gives him another cut. And yet every card, get in close, you can see is back in the original order. Ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Frankly, that's it takes a lot of practice and someone to teach you how to do it in the first place. I'll explain at the end of the tape just how we do it. But let me show you how a card sharp can get, for instance, 5 aces. We'll use, since aces are good, our jokers are wild on when you have aces, straights, straights or flushes. Let's make the joker the wild card. We'll take out 4 aces. And the last ace. 4 aces and a joker, so that would make 5 aces. You got to admit that 5 aces is a very good hand. Now here's how a cheat controls the cards. He'll take an ace. No matter, I'll leave them face up so you can see exactly what's happening. Normally the cheat wouldn't give you the advantage of leaving the cards face up. It'd be mixed up in the deck, apparently. But believe it or not, no matter what you do, a cheat can keep track of them and put them where he wants in the deck, depending on the number of players. If you have 4 people playing, or 5 people playing, 6 people playing. So you just shuffle the cards, but the gambler, the cheat, has to put the cards in the right position depending on how many people are playing. If 4 people are playing, he has to put them every 4th card. So 6 people has to put them every 6 cards, so they'll come to him. That's the difficult part. So how about the cameraman back there? Call that a number of people. 4, 5, 6?
How about 5?
5 players. We'll set up, watch closely now, get down here and look at the deck. Okay, 5 people, here's how they do it. As they're shuffling, they're actually taking the cards and putting them in position so that they'll come to the dealer. And of course you shuffle like that, nobody will think you can cheat if you drop them. If they don't like the overhand shuffle, this is the shuffle they use in casinos. This is a shuffle that you supposedly can't possibly cheat with a shuffle like that. You can cut the cards. You can have them cut the cards. In any card game, you have to get the one of the other players to cut the cards. If they cut, you finish the cut like this, you deal them out. You wanted 5 players. Let's have a real quick look. 1, 2, 3, 4. Son of a gun. Look at there, an ace. That's number 5. I was lucky. Try it again. 2, 3, 4, and again, an ace. 1, 2, 3, 4. How about that? 3 aces. 5 aces. Let's see if I can get the joker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's show you how to cheat at poker. To cheat at poker, I use the 4 aces just because they're obvious to you. Of course, if a gambler always gets 4 aces, people will get mighty suspicious. They'll use like 3 sixes and 2 deuces and get a full house. But just for our sake, let's take the 4 aces, and we'll even leave them face up. The gambler will get the cards to the bottom of the deck. Whatever cards he wants, he can start out with them on the bottom of the deck. And here's a shuffle to put him in a position for any number of players. He can play 4 people, 5 people, 6 people, even 7. He begins to shuffle, pull them off like this. Then he takes 1 from the top and 1 from the bottom. Can you see that? You now have 2, and you count 3, 4, 5. Then you milk 2, one from top, 1 from bottom. 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, take 2, 3, 4, 5. And the last one, the joker. Joker's wild. 2, 3, 4, 5. And these are thrown on top after out jogging 1 card right here. Now the stack cards are below the out jog. You just reach down and take all the cards and throw those on top. Now, every 5th card is now a joker or an ace. 1, 2, 3, 4, an ace. Just like that. But he has to keep them there during the shuffling and cuts. You can't just overhand shuffle. You have to use a table shuffle, a riffle shuffle like this. So you shuffle the cards, square them up, give them a cut, and believe it or not, you still have every 5th card is the ace, because that shuffle is a complete false shuffle. It leaves the cards in a position. Here's what happens in that false shuffle. You cut some cards over to the right. Well, let's not take one and show the ace there. All right. Shuffle some from the left, and then the last one from the left hand. Push them together, but not all the way. They're sticking out here about 1 inch. As you square them up, the thumbs at the back, you push them together. They go in, if you look carefully there, they go in diagonally. Then you can square up this right-hand corner, and it looks squared up, but it's not. I'll pick up the deck and show you here at the back. They extend a little tiny bit. See at this corner? Your left thumb then pushes them back through again. I didn't say it was easy. And then the right hand can pull out all the cards, strip them. It's called a strip out shuffle. Bring these on top, pull out half of the ones, put those even with the rest of the deck, and then take this half and throw them on top. And with that shuffle, the cards are still exactly like they were. Every 5th card is an ace. So of course, when you deal them out, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth, they come to you. Oh, one more thing. Of course, you have to get around the cut. Here's how they false cut a deck. They ask the spectator cuts. You pick these up. And in that one move, you jump the cut. I'll do it real slow so you can see what happens. You pick them up. These come over here, and then you jump them across like this. And then these are scooted right back on top again. But when that's done at the proper speed, it can't be seen. That's one way of doing it. Here's another. They cut the cards, you pick up this half and throw those on top. You see what happened? I picked up the wrong half. They pick up this, you come across, put these in the left hand and throw these on top. Now after shuffling the cards and cutting them, anyone would think that they're well mixed, everything's fair, but of course you're going to get the 5 aces or 4 aces and a wild card, the joker. Let's have a look here on the table. 1, 2, 3, 4, the joker. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the joker. Deal them right out, and of course that's where you put them, and that's where they're going to stay. And you got to admit, 5 aces is a winning hand anytime. Right, now let me show you how they switch cards in blackjack. And blackjack, of course, you just get 2 cards. Let's just use one of these aces here for a moment. And let's give the player a pretty bad hand. He's got a queen showing, but he's got, say, a 2 in the hole like that. Well, the whole secret is he's got to have an extra card. You're sitting there in blackjack, you have a queen, and you have a deuce. You take a look at the whole card, come over, put the queen on top, and you can bet your whole month's paycheck on it because you now have a queen and you have an ace of clubs. Blackjack is not a home game. Blackjack is actually a casino game. You don't deal, you don't cut. So you have to only do one thing. You either have to memorize the cards that have been played, which is called a card counter, or you have to switch cards. A card counter is not really a cheat. It's just a good blackjack player. Here's how they cheat at blackjack. All right, we'll pick these up. Take a couple of cards out of here. Let's say the dealer, the player gets a 2, and he gets 1 good card, a jack, and he's going to need an ace. During the course of the game, they palm 1 card off. They conceal it in the palm of their hand. Turn these down. Remember, they have a jack over here and an ace, 2 underneath. Watch the switch. Come over and you look at your whole card like this, put this back on top. What I've done there, of course, is switch in the ace and take out the deuce. In slow motion, here's how it's done. Again, he'll take the ace, conceal it in the hand. This is called a gambler's palm, by the way. It's held between the little finger and the side of the thumb. That way you can see between the fingers a little bit here. And you're not going to lose it. It's right there, and it's flat. You can hold your hand pretty much flat on the table. A jack and a 2. Push this one aside. The card concealed in your hand actually goes underneath the 2. It's right underneath like this. You let it go flat onto the table, the one you have hidden in your hand. You move the right hand forward. You put the card back into the palm of your hand, and the card you switched in goes underneath, just like that. Now you have a blackjack. And that's how they cheat at blackjack. That's how they switch the whole cards. Of course, this one they can just come over and drop in their lap. There's one thing you always have to remember, that even if you're a cheat, they'll go out and play somebody else's game and lose their money. I've never seen a professional gambler or cheat who ended up with any money in the long run. They either be into drugs or drink too much or play somebody else's game, and they'll lose it. So the only protection you really have is know who you're playing with and never play the 3-card monte or the shell game. They're frauds. They cannot be beaten. You can play poker, and you can win. But don't play against a professional gambler. Don't play with strangers, and I wouldn't play on trains or boats or cruise ships, unless you know who you're playing with. I hope I've helped you realize what a gambler can do to you, what a cheat can do to you in a gambling game. I hope you've learned something from the tape. It's been my pleasure to do it for you. And good luck to all of you. Be happy. Stay well. Bye.
If you haven't subscribed to IMS Magic channel, just hit the button below, subscribe. This way, every time we upload a new tutorial, magic teaching, you'll get a notification. And at the same time, give us a thumbs up. And at imsmagic.com, there is a lot more free magic for you.